Greetings everyone and welcome. I'm your host Captain Ryan, and in today's video I'm playing in my famous Fighting Fletcher here in World of Warships. As the battle gets underway, it's Hotspot. It is Domination Match Mode, and it is a Tier 9 Maximum Battle. Both teams starting with a 3v3 destroyer, so neither team has a destroyer advantage, although my team does have a destroyer advantage because, of course, I am in the Fletcher. And the enemy team only has 2 destroyers that are deep water torpedo destroyers only, which means I cannot be torped by them. And that is a very, very important factor in this game. Now, I have spawned closest to the B cap point, so the B cap point's where I'm going, but given the openness of the cap and the way the rest of the team is spawned, they are splitting A and C, so I am here at B alone. But, unlike other destroyers, I know how to bug out when I see things going badly for me. Now, a couple of things to note here with my captain skills on the Fletcher. I have Survivability Expert, a skill that I highly recommend every destroyer player take. At high tiers, especially, the extra health will keep your butt alive when you take a lot of damage. I also have Concealment Expert on this ship. Why you wouldn't take it, I simply do not know. And I have Torpedo Reload Expert as well on this ship, because why not? Look how quick I manage to reload these torpedoes. Less than 1 minute and 20 seconds there. Am detected here. That's going to be one of 2 of the enemy destroyers that are coming up here. Now, I say one of 2. Right now, we can only see one, and that's going to be the Minsk here. And he is going to shoot at me, so I'm going to go ahead and bug out. Since I don't have any backup here, and as we can see, shots coming in there from one of the cruisers. Since I don't have any backup there, I need to GTFO and get myself backed up with some support. So, my team currently in the process of capturing A, currently in the process of capturing C, and now the enemy team is capturing B. Of course, I am technically still over here, so if I see him, I'm going maybe to shoot at him and maybe reset him. Not quite sure. Hopefully I can get other people to shoot at him. Fire off shots, but you'll notice he's out of my detection range, and that's when the other enemy destroyer pops up here. Now, there's the Chungmu. He cannot torpedo me because he's got deep water torpedoes. He can hit cruisers, he can hit battleships, but he can't hit me, so I'm not worried about torpedoes from him. Do need to worry about torpedoes from the Minsk, though, if he just decides to fire them. I'm not entirely sure what the range is on that. Now, because I fired off my main guns, I'm still being detected there, and it takes a god-awfully long time to finally drop off, and of course as soon as I do, I get hit from one of the cruisers and set on fire. My engine gets knocked out, and my steering, and now a torpedo tube as well. I'm taking one hell of a pounding here, but not before I got off both sets of torpedoes into the smoke screen laid by the Chungmu. Enemy team takes a first blood there. They kill one of our cruisers. And unfortunately, while I'm still on fire, my detection range is still large, so I keep taking hits there, and I've lost a lot of my health here. Now, luckily for me, I have Survivability Expert, so I still have a good 6,000 health. Managed to connect a torpedo on that Chungmu. This is why I say never sit in a smoke screen, especially against a destroyer that has quick reloading torpedoes that can hit you. Because smoke screens are torpedo magnets. So now I know that Chungmu does not have a lot of health left there, because I did a good 12,000 damage to him, and he didn't have Survivability Expert, so he only had 17,000 health to start with anyway. So now I'm looking at the situation here, deciding where I want to go. The enemy team has effectively recaptured the A cap point. So they are currently in the points lead. They have 2 caps, so they're gaining points twice as fast, and they have managed to kill one of our ships. So they are in the points lead. And realistically, at this point, all they need to do, instead of trying to push a certain area, is just sit back, relax, and defend at the B cap point. Here's the enemy Minsk coming back around the corner there, and he is well inside detection range, so I know I'm going to have to deal with him here. But I have a friendly cruiser this time as backup and support here, so hopefully the cruiser will be able to take care of him. Now, I pop a smoke screen, almost not in time there, get hit from the Iowa. That's going to cause me problems. The New Orleans takes a big hit from the torpedoes. They're launched by the Minsk. And of course, because it's been downgraded to Tier 7, it no longer has radar. Luckily, the New Orleans does finish off that destroyer. So now 2 enemy destroyers dead at this point. There's just 1 left, and that 1 left is the Chungmu, who we know doesn't have a lot of health left. If I can find him, I should be able to take him. I should have more health than him. Unfortunately for us, though, our New Orleans, he's going to be dead. So that's 3 of our cruisers now dead. And the enemy team still holding the lead here, especially because they have 2 of the caps. But now that we've cleared out that pesky Minsk from this location, I am in a position to come up here and cap the B location. So that's where I'm going to be. It looks to me like the enemy radar cruisers are currently back over at A, so as long as I steer clear outside of a 10-kilometer radius of the A cap point, I should be okay, shouldn't be spotted, and that'll keep me alive. Fire off torpedoes down that channel into the A cap point. You never know, those cruisers might decide to turn around and back up. Plus, enemy battleship, the Iowa, might decide to push forward out from behind the headland of that island and right into the path of my torpedoes, with any luck. In the meantime, I'm still capping the B cap point. This is going to be an uncontested cap for me, and since it's a solo base cap on my end, that's going to be lovely, lovely XP. If you're grinding ships and you are in one you especially don't like, try getting into bases and capturing. Very, very useful for XP, especially if you are solo. Now, looks like I do manage to connect a torpedo on 1 ship, but not more than 1 there. That's a little unfortunate. The Iowa did turn, and I don't know if he turned because the spotter there spotted my torpedoes, or possibly the Miyoko spotted my torpedoes, as the Miyoko is further out front. Speaking of the Miyoko, though, this Miyoko player really going to be annoying as I continuously try to torpedo him. So he's going back behind this island, and I fire off the first set of torpedoes here. But pay attention, that Miyoko player is turning. Now the second set, I didn't fire at the Miyoko. The second set, I fired at that Iowa. So with any luck, that Iowa will continue. And we know the first one caused flooding, and he's put that flooding out. So the second one, if it causes flooding, should cause him to flood out with any luck. Now the enemy team is in the process of retaking the B cap point. We do finally manage to kill another ship, but they're still at a ship's advantage here. They've managed to take out 1 of our destroyers, but we still have 2 destroyers left. Now remember what I always say. The team that gets the destroyer advantage, especially early on in the game, will usually go on to victory. 2 torpedo hits on that Iowa, and yes, just as expected, both cause flooding, so now he's double flooding out. This is going to be good for me. I'm pushing up towards the smoke screen. That's where the Chungmu was spotted last, and we know he was in there just recently because we saw shots coming out. But then I noticed that the cap has started to be turned. So that tells me he's not in that smoke screen. He's not behind that island. He is in the cap. So I make a turn. I'm going to cut in rather than go all the way around and see if I can catch him off guard. And there he is, and I've spotted him. And he's got less health than I do. And his guns are pointing the wrong way, so I get the first several shots off here. Can I take him out before he causes too much problems? Yes, I do. He didn't get enough shots on me to cause me serious problems. So the Chungmu is dead, and now my team has all the destroyers. More importantly, the enemy team is down to just 2 cruisers. And cruisers are the bane of the destroyer's existence because they have a tendency to be a little bit too maneuverable, dodge a lot of torpedoes, and depending on the cruisers, they generally carry hydroacoustic, or they will carry radar. And both of those, very, very annoying if you are trying to torpedo them, or simply stay alive, as I am, because they don't have a lot of health left. Our other destroyer, the friendly Shiriatsu, he's got all his health left, so if he needs to, he can take a little more of an aggressive stance to secure a kill, or to get a kill. Enemy team still currently up on points, though. They do have a ship's advantage. They are at 6 versus my team's 5. Also, they have 2 of the caps yet again, and because they have 2 of the caps, they're getting points at twice the rate. There's less than 10 minutes left in the game. That's more than enough time to flip this game, but you can see here where they're at and the fact that we've got an isolated KGV all the way up the north end of the map, back by our spawn. He's not going to be much help, and they're probably going to chase him down and finish him off sooner rather than later. Fired off one set of torpedoes towards a battleship, I think it was in Alsace, and was hoping to get connections on him, didn't. Instead, I'm going to fire off another set of torpedoes that I saved here against this Miyoko. Now, this Miyoko is sailing broadside on. Hopefully I'll connect. If I hit him with at least 3, I should kill him outright. The Fletcher torpedoes are very, very powerful, but it looks like he slightly changed directions and he sped up, so I'm only going to hit him with 1. Really disappointed there, but look, you can see how much damage I took off his HP there. And it's not actually a Miyoko. This is one of the ARP ships. It's a replay bug. Not sure why it's not popping up at ARP, but our friendly Shiriatsu, who has lost some of his health, manages to cause a massive amount of damage to this Miyoko and floods him out. Didn't even thought about opening up with my guns, decided not to. I don't need the enemy knowing my position, because technically at this point I am hidden. They have no idea where I am. They only know my last spotted was here at sea, thanks to the Changmu. Now, I know that there's an Alsace pushing back up behind this island, and it looks like he might be headed to take on our KGV. So if I can intercept him and take him out, that would be wonderful. Now, you'll notice as I come around this island, I turned away. And the reason I turned away instead of turning in is because I didn't know which direction this battleship was going. And because nobody was spotting him, there's a possibility that he could have closed the distance. And at the amount of health that I have, if he'd closed the distance and I had been spotted, especially because it's a French battleship, he could have easily put rounds into me, and that would be the end of me. And at this point in the battle, having the end of me would not be a good situation to be in. The enemy team is currently pushing more and more points because they still have 2 caps. While we are currently equal on number of ships, we are not equal in what those ships are worth, and we're not equal in what those ships are capable of. My team still has 2 destroyers here, and these 2 destroyers are pretty sneaky and more than capable of stealth torping any of the ships that remain. And I don't think any of the ships that remain at this point have radar or hydroacoustic. Enemy Alsace takes out our KGV, so that leaves us with just 3 ships. Our Frederick de Grosser, way back down here, is being supported by our Shiriatsu. Now the Shiriatsu goes ahead, he puts torpedoes out at the Nelson here, and I'm going to put torpedoes out at the Nelson as well. Now the Nelson looks like he's got a catapult fighter currently up, and I'm pretty well aware at this point that he must be aware that he's got an enemy destroyer right down and around him, so he turns away. As it currently stands, my torpedoes are going to miss. Hopefully, by him turning away, the Shiriatsu's torpedoes, nope, they miss as well. But here's the kicker. Because the Shiriatsu's torpedoes missed, the Nelson thinks he's safe now. And because he turned away slightly, now that he's turning back around, he's turning right into the path of my torpedoes. God, I love it when an unintended plan comes together. And I know I just set him on fire, and he's put that fire out. So these 2 torpedo hits, well, they're going to cause him flooding, and another fire there, so he's going to burn and flood out. We can see that happening. Enemy Alsace has made his turn the other direction. I do have a set of torpedoes available, so I'm going to go ahead and fire those off. Of course, given his current position, it's very hard to say whether or not these torpedoes will hit. Was hoping to get a flooding kill on the Nelson, but that wasn't the case. The de Grosser's secondaries take the Nelson out. Second set of torpedoes up again here, and I'm going to push up. Now, I'd really like to get in and capture the A cap point. The enemy team is in the 840 points range, so that's the danger zone, especially with only 5 minutes left. And considering I don't have a lot of health, if one of these battleships does manage to spot me, I'm pretty much dead. So, fire off a set of torpedoes here against this Amagi. He doesn't have a lot of health left. First set of torpedoes on the all sauce managed to all miss. That's really disappointing, but not out of the realm of expectation there, as he was bow on. Easier to torpedo beats when they're already coming at you. Now, the Shiriatsu is currently occupied. He is dealing with the enemy Iowa down there, but he's hoping that the DeGrosser, which has very, very thick armor and good secondaries, can deal with the Iowa. Unfortunately, the DeGrosser doesn't have a lot of health left. I'm not sure who managed to hit him and hurt him that badly, but without all of his health versus what was effectively a full strength Iowa, that is a serious, serious issue. Managed to kill the Amagi, connected 2 torpedoes on him. That finishes him off as he came around that island there. That makes me really, really happy. Fire off a second set of torpedoes at the Alsace. Now, this Alsace and we're going to have a little bit of a game of cat and mouse. The Alsace is well aware that I am back down here. He knows because he keeps getting torpedoes shot at him. And one of them finally does connect. Now, it does cause flooding, but he's going to put that flooding out right away. I have a smokescreen available in about 10 seconds, and if I can get my smokescreen up and fire shots off at him, well, the Shiriatsu can detect him for me. Not only can I reset the cap, but I can finally set him on fire and burn him down, because I know he's put that out. Now, his catapult fighter does spot the torpedo, so he's going to start turning hard and away. I'm going to reset the cap here by getting high explosive rounds out. Hopefully he can set him on fire. I know he's put the flooding out, so fire will stick here. He's turning hard, but see, here's the thing. If he'd continued going straight, all of those torpedoes would have completely missed. And unfortunately, he turns and he overcorrects, and there's a hit, and there's another flooding, and that flooding is going to finish him off. And now it's a 2v1. 2 versus 1, enemy Iowa versus 2 destroyers. And 2 of the destroyers he's got to deal with are myself and the Fletcher, where I can easily stay out of range of him, and a Shiriatsu, who's got about half health. And the Shiriatsu is going to put some torpedoes towards that Iowa, who has come all the way around the corner here. In the meantime, I'm not going to rush down and support him. Given the amount of time left and the current points totals, I'm going to go and I'm going to go step on and preferably take the A cap point. And the reason I'm going to do that is so that the enemy team cannot continue gaining points. And this is going to be a critical and important decision here. I see too many destroyer captains will get distracted, or too many just friendly ship captains will get distracted, and they will try to go down and rush for that damage instead of doing what they absolutely need to do, which in this case is sit on the A cap point. Take it from the enemy, don't let them have it anymore. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm playing to win this game because I know very well, especially here that we see the Shiriatsu does not have a lot of health left, that if that Iowa manages to kill him, either through a blind fire or otherwise spots him, that's going to drop the points total. It's going to give the enemy team over 900 points, and it's going to drop my team. And there's only a minute left in this game. Now, that Iowa doesn't have a lot of health left. Shiriatsu is going to start firing at him, and the Shiriatsu is going to do a very, very good job of whittling this guy down. I'd fire at him too, but he's just out of range, and I don't have a smokescreen left, and I'm currently sitting in the open. Fortunately for me, because I'm sitting in the open, I'm spotting him for there. Now that Shiriatsu's firing, and the Iowa manages a blind shot into that smokescreen, kills the Shiriatsu. That's what I was afraid of. You can see there, they're over 900 points. I open up here as I manage to capture, but you'll notice I start moving forward here. I'm going to get myself behind this island. What I'm trying to do is set this Iowa on fire or just kill him outright. And I have to make a split crack decision here. Is there enough time for my team with all 3 caps to reach the points necessary to win in 20 seconds? If I don't die, and I'm thinking yes, there is enough time for that to be the case. Come on, seconds left, 10 seconds left, sit behind the island, gain the points, there it is, we guaranteed victory, just over the limit there. Man, what a close game at the end. Just shy of 201,000 damage done in that game. Just shy of 12,000 experience. 11 torpedo hits, 10 floodings, 9 base resets. 3 solo base captures, Confederate and high caliber. One thing I do want to point out in this game, if you weren't paying attention to it, is the chat. Go back and rewatch this video with that chat and watch it. Top of the team for XP earned at 3,000 base XP. Next nearest guy, the Shiriyatsu, 1,800 base XP on the team. But no, I'm serious. Go watch the chat. The chat is pretty funny at the beginning and reasonably humorous towards the end of the game. Anyway, that's it for today's video, folks. If you liked the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to get some irregular channel news and updates, you can do so by liking and following me on Facebook. If you've got a replay like this one that you'd like to have me take a look at or see featured on my channel, you can send it to my email. And if you'd like to watch me play various games live, you can do so by following me on Twitch. You can find the links for all of those in the video description down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.